Good Tuesday evening, Southeast Texas. We're going to take an in-depth look at your forecast over the next 15 minutes. And today, not a bad afternoon. We saw a little bit of fog across the area this morning and then partly cloudy skies this afternoon. And then as the atmosphere warmed up and we headed into the late afternoon and evening hours, skies became mostly sunny and mostly clear across the area. So no rain across Southeast Texas today. We don't expect any tonight, maybe a sprinkle or two with the fog, and then tomorrow looks dry across the area. As you can see, mostly clear skies here in Beaumont, Packard, LaPrade, currently 75 on the Roofing 911 Sky Cam network. So on your allergy report today, some good news. Low levels of tree and grass pollen reported today. So tree or grass pollen is lower today. Still dealing with that ragweed at moderate levels, and mold is also on moderate levels. So here's the plan over the next several days. We expect dense fog tonight and late tonight and really tomorrow morning. So you'll need to drive carefully. Otherwise, well above normal temperatures are expected the next few days. In fact, we could see near record high temperatures coming up tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunderstorms return to the forecast. It's been a while since we could say that. It looks like Thursday night into Friday, we may see some scattered showers and storms. And then the front that we were talking about yesterday looks weaker today, and it does not look like it will push deep into the Gulf. So maybe along the coast, the coastal waters or along the coast. So it's going to be close enough to warrant at least 20% coverage Saturday. Sunday, the front will be lifting back to the north as a warm front. So you got to include a slight chance there on Sunday. And it does not look because of that will be quite as cool because the temperatures, because of the front not going as far down into the Gulf. So not quite as cool. So those are the big changes as far as the next 7 days. Otherwise, it's all about fog coming up late tonight and during the morning hour rush. Could see visibilities around a half a mile to a quarter of a mile in spots. So that's why we're issuing a weather impact alert. All this really means is that we'll see dense fog coming up tomorrow morning. This could impact your commute tomorrow morning between 2 a.m. and about 10 a.m. And so we recommend that you leave early so you don't have to rush, reduce speed, because you want to pay attention to what is going on. Visibilities could change fairly rapidly, and especially outlying areas. And don't forget to use those low beams. And it says, I said, could see some visibilities down to less than a quarter of a mile tomorrow morning. Otherwise, after that, we should see skies becoming partly cloudy in the afternoon, kind of like what we saw today. We'll go with about 84 tomorrow. That would tie the record for the day. And as you can see, modeling right there at about 84 to 85. And again, I'm just amused at how modeling seems to think that we're going to see a 20 to 30% coverage coming up tomorrow morning. That's just not going to happen. Otherwise, as far as the lakes area, about 85. Again, fog in the morning, and then we'll mix that out and we'll go with partly cloudy skies in the afternoon and then see highs of about 84 to 85 tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, here is what we're expecting. No rain tomorrow, maybe some sprinkles in the morning with the low clouds and fog. Thursday, we'll go with a 20% coverage. Friday, maybe about a 30% coverage, especially Thursday night into Friday. 30, maybe 40% coverage. And then as that front moves, that's because of an upper level disturbance. Then as the front moves in and maybe stalls along the coastline, the nearshore waters, we'll keep a slight chance on Saturday, and then the front lifts back to the north. So the warm front will give us a slight chance. And then Monday into Tuesday, I'm not going to go gung-ho or crazy yet until I see the whites of its eyes. We'll be watching an upper level disturbance move out of the Baja, and this is a particularly difficult direction for modeling to handle, and we'll explain more in just a second. Coming out of Mexico, models just don't do well. So we're going to go with a conservative 30 to 40% coverage coming up on Monday into Tuesday. And this Tuesday looks like it's going to be the best day for showers and storms throughout the next 7 days. So we'll see how that fans out. So it's just amazing to me how models flip-flop back and forth. We like the ensemble modeling rather than the single-run deterministic model. 2 days ago, this model had 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. Then it flip-flopped to a quarter of an inch of rainfall yesterday. And now we're back up to 1 to 2 and even higher amounts across Southeast Texas. So I like 1, maybe 2 inches across the area through the next 7 days. It's very early. Tuesday is probably going to be our best shot of picking up some significant rainfall across the area, which is outstanding news for the ongoing drought. Tomorrow's wildfire threat is just going to be low, so we're good there. Burn bans, no changes as far as that. Liberty County, still Jasper and Newton counties are under burn bans, as we're now approaching 8 inches below normal since September the 1st. Moderate to severe drought across the area, so we need rain. And again, hopefully that materializes over the next several days. We'll have a couple good opportunities, I think, to at least see at least a scattering of showers and storms. So right now it is warm. It is, I should say warm, mild and humid as we continue to see the flow straight off the Gulf, looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the 70s on the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop. So the big story is that we continue to see this southwest flow. You can see it very clearly transporting that upper level moisture, and that's why this front is not moving south. See the upper level winds blowing the clouds off to the north and east. You want to have the winds out of the northwest to blow the front into our area, if you will. But that's just not going to happen. That's why this is stalling. Plus, the disturbance that created it is well off to the north and east. This is the disturbance that may bring us some scattered showers and storms late Thursday into Friday. Now, it'll be on a weakening trend because hot on its heels is another trough of low pressure. You can see it in the central Pacific. So this is going to cause a buckling in the upper levels, and this should weaken as it heads towards this ridge of high pressure. So we'll put this into motion and show you that in just a second. Otherwise, pretty quiet over us right now because of that ridge. So, as I was saying, there's the disturbance that created the front that is stalled in through northwest Texas. It has moved away from the front, so it is not going to be pushed any further south with that southwest flow. So the fronts, cold fronts, warm fronts, those are all on the ground. We're at 18,000 feet, high up in the mid-atmosphere. So now we'll be watching this low over towards Los Angeles head our way. And as you can see, it begins weakening, and look how fast this other disturbance is on its heels. So this will kind of cavitate into our area Thursday night into Friday morning. That will bring us a 30, maybe 40% coverage. But again, it's going to be on a weakening trend. Did you see that? It was much stronger in West Texas, and as it approaches us, it looks like it's going to weaken because it's running into this ridge of high pressure. See the ridge of high pressure over towards southeast U.S.? That's why this is going to weaken. So I'm not going to go more than a 30, maybe 40% coverage of scattered showers and storms Thursday night into Friday. So with that southwest flow, that goes off to the north and east. Then we'll be watching this next disturbance headed our way. It'll also be coming in from the southwest. This is not a good direction for models to do well. If disturbances are coming from the north, the northeast, you got a lot of weather stations that sample temperature, wind speed, wind direction, all that data goes in to the models. Because there are few weather stations over the Baja and Mexico, modeling doesn't do generally a very good job as far as the timing and strength of these upper level lows. These upper level lows dictate if we see a cold front, widespread rainfall, things of that nature. So we'll put this into motion, and as you can see, it does head off to the north and east, and it looks like there's going to be a potential for some severe weather. I think it's going to be mainly up towards Oklahoma, northeast Texas as we head towards Tuesday. If this track is right, who's to say it's not going to be further north? Now, if it's further south, then we could have some issues as we head towards next Tuesday. But I think that this is going to be probably the best shot of rainfall we've seen in a while, especially next Tuesday. But again, I'm not going to go crazy on rainfall because the models have not been doing well, and you've seen a lot of change on the forecast over the last few days. So tonight, it's all about fog and low clouds, and we expect it to be pea soup tomorrow morning in spots. If you don't understand that reference, it means it's thick. Pea soup is thick, and that's what fog a lot of times is described, at least in the 70s and 80s, as far as pea soup, meaning thick fog, is quite possible coming up tomorrow morning. Very mild temperatures overnight. Could be running about 15 degrees above normal tomorrow morning. Otherwise, There could be a few sprinkles, can't rule that out tomorrow morning. Then the fog will be lifting by mid to late morning. We'll see partly cloudy skies develop across the area with highs making a run for the record. 84 is the record tomorrow, so we are forecasting 84. That will at least tie it, and we expect those skies to become partly cloudy coming up tomorrow afternoon. So on the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet and a southeast wind at 10 knots. Watch out for the areas of fog if you're going to be out on the water. Otherwise, water temperature at 75. So dense fog coming up late tonight and tomorrow morning, especially tomorrow morning as the winds go calm. Don't expect much of a cool down up in the lakes area, mid 60s there, mid to upper 60s, maybe 70 over towards mid-county, back over to Port Arthur and Sabine Pass, not far behind at BC. Otherwise tomorrow, again, near record high temperatures, highs in the mid 80s with skies becoming partly cloudy. That means you're going to have some fog in the morning, 8, 9, 10 in the morning, and then that lifts and we become partly cloudy in the afternoon. Now, no rain is expected coming up tomorrow afternoon, but it's going to be obviously a warm, humid day with southeasterly winds across the area. Okay, so taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast, we've included a weather impact alert for the morning hours because of that potential for dense fog that lists, and we become partly cloudy in the afternoon and near record high temperatures. Slight chance of some light rain coming up on Thursday as moisture pools over the area, and we begin to see that disturbance head our way. We'll go partly sunny and about a 20% coverage, maybe a little bit of a cool down, or at least a little lower high temperatures. How about that? Then Thursday night into Friday, 30, 40, maybe 50% coverage, particularly up in the lakes area, but here in the Triangle, maybe a 30% coverage under partly sunny skies, and hopefully we get a good round of rain that is unexpected. That would be certainly very welcome, not so much for the forecast accuracy. Now, Saturday morning, we'll see the front kind of limp into southeast Texas, stall somewhere south of I-10 along the coastline, maybe nearshore waters. So a little bit of reduction in temperatures, but because of its proximity to the Triangle, we'll include a 20% coverage. Otherwise, that front begins lifting back to the north on Sunday as the winds turn from the northeast to the southeast. We'll see partly sunny skies, a little bit cooler, maybe closer to 60 up in the lakes area. Not a bad day, but again, no washouts. It doesn't look like it's going to be as cool as what we had yesterday in the forecast for the weekend. Now, as we work on into Monday, we'll start to see that disturbance move in from the desert southwest and head towards West Texas. We'll include just a 30% coverage of scattered showers and storms as southeast winds will start cranking up ahead of that upper low, moving somewhere in through west and northwest Texas. And then we'll go with a 40% coverage. Not going to go above that until I see the whites of its eyes. We want more consistency as far as modeling. Could be double this as far as rain chances, and could be 1, maybe 2 inches just on Tuesday. That would be certainly welcome. But again, that's kind of what we're pointing towards right now. But again, we're going to keep this at a very conservative forecast at this point. So again, it looks like Thursday night into Friday and Monday and Tuesday of next week will be our best chance of shower and thunderstorm activity across southeast Texas. Otherwise, I just want to review real quickly on the potential for dense fog coming up tomorrow morning. I don't want to overemphasize this, but again, be cautious tomorrow morning. Slow down, get off the phone, and pay attention to what is going on, because the visibilities could rapidly change, particularly in outlying areas, not so much the cities, but we could see some visibilities down to around a quarter of a mile or less. So that's why we're issuing a weather impact alert for tomorrow morning, which means that we will likely see those visibilities down to half a mile, maybe a quarter mile or less. So leave early, reduce your